Hello and welcome back to Rediscovering You, episode 64. I am so excited for today's episode because I get to introduce you to not only a beautiful soul, but also my co-facilitator for an incredible retreat that we have coming up this fall in Vermont, the amazing Amy Inzero. Amy is a gifted yoga instructor and health coach who has such a calming and grounding presence. And together, we are creating something so special, a transformational retreat called Align and Awaken. And it's happening this October 18th through 20th at the Ayurvedic Retreat Center, Setu, right in the heart of Vermont during peak fall foliage. In today's conversation, you're going to get to know Amy, hear more about her journey, and also get a sneak peek into what you can expect from our retreat. From yoga and Reiki to healing circles, meditation, nourishing meals, and of course, just plenty of space to breathe, reset, and reconnect with yourself. So if you've been feeling drained or stuck or just craving some time to recharge in a beautiful environment, this episode is for you. And who knows, maybe by the end of it, you'll feel called to join us in Vermont this October. I know you're going to love Amy as much as I do, so let's just dive right in. Hi, Amy. Welcome to the show. I'm really happy that you're here today.
Hi, Laura. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So I was hoping you could start by just letting the listeners know a little bit more about who you are and what drew you to yoga and coaching and your practice so that we can know more about you.
Sure. As Laura said, I'm Amy Inzero. I am the owner of Serenity and Spirit Yoga and Health Coaching. And I started my journey in yoga about 12 years ago. I was trained as a yoga instructor. And shortly after I began my yoga practice, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, which led me to a journey of exploring healthier practices and a healthy body, mind, spirit, even more deeply than I had started with. And so I got my 200-hour and 300-hour certification in yoga and began to teach at Soul Space Yoga and Wellness in Plantsville. And I've had a wonderful journey there and in instructing on Saturday mornings with a beautiful community. And as I continued on that journey, I decided to further my education by getting my certification in integrative nutrition and wellness. And so I got my certification as a health coach, and I'm currently working on getting board certification as a health coach. Love coaching people around health and wellness. I love my yoga instruction and really enjoy hosting these yoga retreats for my students and anyone who's interested. It's really a way to get away and just nourish your body, mind, and spirit.
Absolutely. And congratulations on overcoming your breast cancer diagnosis and being the
Thank
bright,
you.
beautiful soul that you are right now, and not letting that diagnosis turn into something that really weighed you down and prevented you from doing things. But it sounds like it gave you fuel to learn more, to not only for your own well-being, but now you're inspired to give back to other people so that they can live a more holistic, healthy lifestyle. And I think that's just so beautiful.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was really happy to celebrate my 10-year anniversary as a survivor this year. So that was a big milestone. And really having gone through that not only piqued my interest in holistic health and
Mhm.
learning to take care of ourselves, it also gave me perspective on each person's individual journey, honoring everybody else's journeys and how what they're going through is unique to them, and it's everybody's own journey through this life, and I'm happy to support it in any way that I can.
I love that. I think that's just so beautiful. And I can really appreciate wanting to take a more holistic approach to health as opposed to like traditional medicine or things that you can get from a typical doctor when you think of going to a doctor. Why is holistic health so important to you?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Before I actually had my breast cancer, 7 years prior to that, I had had a pulmonary embolism from being on birth control pills. And so immediately I did a lot of research around pharmaceuticals and Western healthcare and Western medicine and how that can affect the body. Of course, 7 years after that, I got the breast cancer. And it was really the most challenging time in my life because having had been through the pulmonary embolism and knowing what pharmaceuticals had already done to my body,
Hmm.
I had some really hard decisions to make in my breast cancer journey as far as treatment was concerned. And I had to choose whether I was going to have chemo, whether I was going to go on other medications. And I had lots of people telling me what I should and shouldn't do. And I had to really dig deep and come from my center. And I realized that it's not about pushing Western medicine away 100%, right?
Hmm.
Like I started to say before, it's everyone's own journey in deciding how much of Western medicine and medication you want to go with holistic medicine, complementary medicine, Eastern medicine, and kind of combining the two, but really honoring your holistic self and body, mind, and spirit, nurturing all parts of your body rather than just targeting the one area that may be causing you trouble at the time. I realized that often our issues live in our tissues, we say in yoga. And so we have to work on body, mind, and spirit together in order to create a healthy body and healthy self.
Absolutely. Everything is integrated, everything is connected. And I love that, you're saying it's not one or the other. There are ways that you can have a healthy balance of both Western and holistic, and it's unique to each individual person. And one thing that I'm so excited to talk to you about this retreat that you and I have coming up, particularly, is how using a tool such as a retreat can be such an amazing for intense holistic wellness and transformation in such a short amount of time. And you have some experience with running retreats. So can you talk about like from the point of view of a facilitator of one of these retreats, what is it like for somebody stepping in on day one and what they go through and what they feel like at the end of the whole experience?
Yeah. So these retreats are really one of my favorite things to do in my whole life. They're so powerful. Usually, when someone comes to our retreats for the first time, they don't know what to expect,
Mhm.
right? And but people are coming with the stressors of life. You can actually see when they walk through the door what they're carrying with them because we know that this life can be so challenging. And so, as a retreat facilitator, it's my job to, again, honor everyone's journeys and hold space for whatever everyone brings to the space. And so we usually begin our retreat with just a check-in session. You know, say a word or two about how you're feeling on this first night, and just let us know kind of where you're landing as you come to this experience. And people tend to be a little bit shy sometimes if it's their first time, and they'll say a few words. And then as they go through the experiences of the retreat and we continue to check in and they have the space and the time to actually just be themselves, not only with other like-minded people in a beautiful community, but time to not have to answer the phone, take care of the kids, clean the house, worry about work, just a space to be with themselves, which is so unusual in our busy times that
Really is.
that they're able to stop and really listen to their inner voice and be with, I call them the parts of themselves that might come up when they're not so busy.
Hmm.
and they find a sense of relaxation many times. Sometimes they find a sense of just discovery and they're able to find maybe a path in their lives that they weren't able to consider before because they were so busy within their lives, they never had the time to actually think about where they were going and what they were doing. And by the end of the retreat, we find that our participants really open up and they're more willing to share. And they find often that they become emotional as they sit with what they've been through in their lives and as they think about where they're going. And they always leave with a positive feeling. It's just a great experience. And we have many, many retreat participants who come back again and again and get something new and different out of it every time.
Because a retreat really is such a unique experience. It's not like going on a vacation. It's not like doing like a girl's getaway, although you could definitely bring a girlfriend. But a retreat, as you put so beautifully, really is a gift to yourself.
Hmm.
And how often do we give ourselves the gift of time and space in honoring what we need? Especially, I know for many women out there who might be listening, we are very much trained to do for others, care for others, make sure everybody else is okay. And oftentimes we're not even close to the top of the list of priorities. So when you make a decision that, no, I am going to take this time for myself, to better myself, to nourish my mind, body, spirit, and soul in community, it's like such a unique and powerful tool. And I love it because transformation during a retreat happens exponentially faster and stronger
Hmm.
in other types of settings. So you're
Absolutely.
working with a coach one-on-one, whether you're going to yoga classes or whether you're doing a Reiki session. When you combine all of it and put it in the vortex of a retreat, it's just so magical.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, this retreat that we have coming up, October 18th through 20th, is at such an amazing location. It is going to be at Seitu Retreat Center right in Brattleboro, Vermont. And Amy and I lucked out because we happen to get a weekend that is peak fall foliage in Vermont. And if you have not seen fall foliage in Vermont, wow, it is breathtaking. Amy, why are you excited about this setting? Besides the fall foliage, obviously.
We've hosted a few retreats in Vermont now at different places, and it is just the perfect setting for a retreat. Just the peacefulness of Vermont and the beautiful scenery. Often, if participants choose, there's nothing that anybody has to do, everything is by choice. But we often will find some hiking trails and take an easy hike in whatever area we're in. And this area is no exception. It seems to have some really nice places where we can walk and hike. This particular center I'm excited about because it is an Ayurvedic retreat center. Ayurveda is the sister science of yoga, the health side of yoga that the Indian tradition uses for their healthcare system. And so the food that they'll be providing will be very healthy and nourishing on top of the setting, which they have decorated the retreat center in some beautiful Indian inspired decor.
Mhm.
And there's a beautiful yoga room for us to do our yoga in, and maybe even a spot outside.
Mhm.
Definitely a place for a fire pit and some really nice healing circles out there as well.
Absolutely. The retreat center itself is absolutely stunning and it's in just a most magnificent location. What I love about this place too is that there's opportunities to enjoy nature. in it, not just with the hiking trails that you mentioned, but also there is an outdoor hot tub for those of you that love
Yes.
hot tubs at the end of the day. And there's a sauna there as well. The rooms are gorgeous. There's lots of different configurations of rooms, whether you're looking to be solo or with a friend or a sister or mother, whoever. There's different options to make all of our participants as comfortable as possible. And I appreciate you, Amy, saying that we don't mandate at our retreat that you have to do all of the activities that were put forth. We are going to offer a good amount of really inspired activities for our participants. Everything from, as you said, yoga. I'm going to be offering Reiki. I'm going to be facilitating beautiful healing circles, guided meditations. All of this is included in the cost of the retreat, and you're welcome to attend all of them if you're feeling called to attend all of them. However, if you're like, you know what? I think today I just want to be out in nature and go for a walk or soak in the hot tub or meditate on my own. That's great too. It's really about a weekend where you're honoring yourself and what feels good and what feels right to you.
Absolutely. I've had different groups of people who some come to the retreat. And so I would be offering a couple of yoga classes on this retreat. And some people come and have never done yoga before. They're like, we can't do this. And they find that our yoga classes are simple and gentle and great, even if you have never done yoga before. And they've tried it and they love it. And then we have people who have decided, you know what, I want to sleep in the morning. I don't really feel drawn to a yoga class this morning, and they sleep in and they do their own thing. And that's great too, because again, as I started this talk, everyone's on their own journey. So we honor what each person needs. Another common thing that we say in yoga is take what you need and leave the rest. And that's really what it's all about. It's about being in your own practice throughout
Right.
the weekend.
Right. And there's no right or wrong way to do a retreat. There really isn't. You like you said, if you feel like sleeping in, great, do it because that's a form of self-care. You're honoring what your body is telling you you need. Do it. Because how often do we get to sleep in these days?
Right.
I know I don't very often, but there's really nothing that you have to feel that you need to do. It really is just a gift to yourself so that you can do whatever you're feeling called to do and you're going to make the right decision, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
Now, I have a question for you. So, do you
Yes.
ever have a situation where a participant comes thinking that, okay, I'm going for the purpose of relaxation. That's what the purpose of this retreat is, and that's what I'm here for. And then by the end of it, they're like, oh my gosh, I like completely gained or experienced this, and this is not what I was expecting, but wow, this is amazing. Does that ever happen where like they experience a different benefit than they were expecting, or something that they surprises them along the way?
Absolutely. I think I would probably say the biggest surprise for most people is that whole feeling of they're kind of coming, not knowing what to expect. They're coming with an open mind, but it's that feeling of revelation. I
Mm,
think that is the surprise when our participants walk away discovering something about themselves that they didn't anticipate discovering, or becoming emotional about something that they've been burying for so long because,
mhm.
again, they never had the time to really sit with it. And they come not really expecting to heal anything that they've been carrying, and yet they leave feeling healed in so many ways. And they also form friendships in the retreat that they didn't anticipate forming. So many of my students have gotten so close to each other just through these retreats. And again, I've had participants who have decided to completely stay to themselves during the retreat. I've had participants who made it almost like a silent retreat for themselves, and they just kind of did their thing, reflected, and left still feeling healed and rejuvenated in the same way. So lots of different outcomes and unexpected outcomes based on each person's own individual experiences and how they chose to go through the retreat.
You said that also beautifully. And I just, one of the things I love about retreats is just the benefits that people get from it that they didn't even know that they needed. They didn't even know
Yes,
they needed. They're like, I'm just going to have a relaxing weekend in beautiful Vermont. It'll be great. And then they leave like, oh my gosh, I think I healed my inner child. Like something wild like that happens. And like you said, you rediscover parts of yourself that you didn't even know were there. And
yes.
like I think that's just such a beautiful thing because us as humans, we're ever evolving and ever like relearning different aspects of ourselves. And retreats are just such a beautiful way for really profound things to happen in such a short time.
Yeah, we've had, you're just bringing to mind some of the people who have had those revelations. And I'm thinking of a participant who decided on our retreat to go further in her career
Mhm.
and change up her career a little bit. And that retreat was probably a year or two ago, and she just finished the requirements this summer that she needed to advance her career in a direction that was more fulfilling for her and more comfortable for her, which was really neat to see. And then
I love it.
I had another participant whose children were going, her last child was going off to college, and she was
Mhm.
sort of dealing with empty nest syndrome. And she really worked through that during the retreat and was able to find peace. And she also decided to pursue a different career where and the seeds of that were born through her reflection in those few days that we were
That's
together.
amazing.
So, and they don't, not everybody has those huge revelations and those huge transitions, but there are a lot of people who experience,
Mhm.
a different perspectives and revelations through that
I
time
think that's just
together.
amazing. That's just
Yeah.
amazing that like not only are you going to have an amazing experience in the days of the retreat itself, but the ripple effect on your life that it could potentially have is just like it's amazing to think about it. Like making different career choices or seeing strengths in yourself that you didn't know that you had, or realizing that you had buried a dream that you had when you were younger and like, okay, maybe I could find a way to bring it back into my life to live a life more in alignment. And that's why the name of our retreat is actually Align and Awaken, because a lot of times people have kind of gone through their lives and they lose track of who they are. They go through the motions of getting up, doing the job, doing the dishes, whatever it is, and they're like functioning at like asleep. And so our hope at this retreat is that you're going to leave feeling in alignment with your core values, with who you are, awakened to what is important to you and to what you need, and step forth into your life in like really healthy, rejuvenated, excited, joyful way.
Yes, absolutely.
So, this retreat, as I said earlier, is going to be in Vermont this October from October 18th through 20th. I really hope that anybody listening to this right now, if they're feeling like, oh, this sounds like something I would love to do, please, please, please reach out to me or Amy. I'm going to leave how you can connect with both of us in the show notes. I'm also going to drop in some links so you could see what the rooms that are still available and what the prices are. And just so you know, the prices that you see does include two breakfasts, two dinners, all of the activities that Amy and I are going to be providing, including sound healing meditations, which I don't think I mentioned earlier, but I'm so excited about. But yeah, I encourage you to join us with this, to really step into our community and do this experience together with us and see what it can do for you, how it might awaken you or inspire you to live a life that's more in alignment.
I just think it might be helpful for those who are interested to kind of know the structure of the weekend a little bit. Again, not that, because I get that question a lot. Well, what does the weekend actually look like? And again, not that there's any must-dos, but the general structure and offerings start with dinner on Saturday after the check-in, and usually maybe a yoga class or the sound meditation class that night, some type of class upon arrival, maybe a yoga nidra class, yoga sleep, and then the next morning breakfast is provided. And usually that next day is a day to yourself to decide if you want to go hiking with the group or purchase one of the optional spa services, relax in the hot tub or the sauna, just read, enjoy the grounds, go to Brattleboro and explore the town. So that middle day is really for you to decide what's best for you. And then that night, we tend to do another check-in and likely a fire pit, healing circle, some Reiki perhaps from Laura. And then the following morning, Monday morning, you'll get breakfast again. That Sunday night, you get dinner, a great healthy dinner, and then breakfast Monday morning and another yoga class that morning before we go and check-in circle to kind of wrap up. So there is somewhat of a structure to it. Again, you kind of pick and choose what you'd like to do.
Thank you for breaking that down, Amy, and for thinking to talk about that. So yes, that would be the general structure of the weekend with us. But again, it's really your weekend. You take from it what you want and leave what you don't want.
And I just want to say everybody deserves it
Yes.
because I think as women, we feel like we're too busy. We have to take care of this or take care of that. But it's so important. Just speaking as someone who has had health challenges, I've come to realize that taking care of ourselves is a non-negotiable. And this is the ultimate way to take care of yourself and nurture and foster that healthy body, mind, and spirit.
Yes, and taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's actually selfless in so many ways because when you return, you're just going to be the best possible version of yourself back into your own circle, your family, your work, your neighborhood, whatever it is. And so it's just the gift you give to yourself is going to be given to others as well through the strength and the growth that you're going to have through the retreat.
Exactly.
Everybody does deserve it.
Yes.
Amy Inzero, I'm so happy to have had this conversation with you. Thanks for being on the podcast with me today. I can't wait to co-facilitate this retreat with you in October. And for those of you listening, I invite you to check out the rooms that we still have available and book a call or reach out via email to either myself or Amy. We're happy to answer any questions at all that you have. I just really hope to see so many of you listening there to join us.
Thank you so much, Laura.